Alrighty, we've got our Chapter 3 projects here, so let's get right into it. So I decided to do the Catalina Island Boat Express app, and then also the Trilithon registration app. Pretty sure I pronounced that right, but yep. Alright, so let's see. So here is the Catalina Island Boat Express app. And pretty simple. Here we've got our header or image, like a number, edit text field. Don't want to do anything to that. See, then a spinner, compute cost button, and then a pretty much just a result field down here. Got all that laid out, a nice little layout, and it's got a dark theme. Alright, let's see. This does have a prompt. Spinner does have like a prompt value there. Somewhere over here, yep. And it's linked over here. So then we've got basically our style right here that I applied to it. And I got rid of the action bar, that way I could see the header that I'd put in there. And then here is our strings.xml. So this has the name of the application, and then we got the different values here, including a string array for the spinner. Alright, now here's the code for this. Makes all this possible. Got a bunch of imports up here. Let's see, when we get down here, really, stuff I've written is that I wrote the ticket cost in dollars up here. And now, let's see what else we've got. Basically, I mean, all we got to do is reference the edit text, spinner, text view, and button controls there on the form. And then we just add an on-click listener to the compute button. And basically, whenever the user clicks that button, we get the number of tickets from the text field, or from the edit text field. We create a decimal format called currency here, so we can format this output down here as currency. Now right here, we get the destination from the spinner, whichever destination they've selected. And then we calculate the total cost, which is just number of tickets times the ticket cost. And then we set the text of the result text field to result text view, to this. So it's one-way trip to, and then destination, and there's a dash that separates that, and then there is the total cost here calculated, written in currency format. Okay, so let's go ahead and run this. I'm going to pause the video. Okay, so I've got my emulator loaded up here, so here's our program here in action. So, can't remember what the text used for their input. Well, it doesn't really matter. I think I did 5, that's right. Alright, so we'll enter 5 here. I guess I should use the soft keyboard there. Enter that. On. There we go. And then what we have to do, we'll say to Catalina Island, compute cost, one-way trip to Catalina Island, $170, and that is correct. And if we're looking at, we'll put my calculator to pull that into this window. 5 times 34 is $170. There we go. Cool, and this works with any of the other stuff. We'll have to verify that here. Like 7. And we'll say to Long Beach. One-way trip to... What? See there. There we go, so now it's fixed. I'd noticed a little glitch there that I had missed earlier while I was testing it, where there were basically 2 twos there, so it was one trip to Catalina Island. And, got that fixed. I just had to take that out of the code right here. Because it was already, the 2 is already in the array there. So I'm going to go ahead and just do that one more time. And we'll just do 10, that way it's easy to see what the math is mathing out there correct. So we got 10. Ready, keyboard. Go. To Catalina Island. Yep. And one-way trip to Long Beach. There we go. So I'll go ahead and load up my other program. Alright, and here's the Trilithon registration app. I think it said like Trilithon, but I might be wrong. I'll have to look that up sometime. But nevertheless, see, so here's our layout here. We've got our header, our edit text thing here to get their number, like edit text to get the number of athletes with its hint in there. This has actually got a prompt there associated with it, and the entries, which is linked to an array there, which I'll look at in a second. Strings.xml. We've got our spinner, our image view, compute cost button, and then down here we have our result, result text here. It'll display that computed result there, the total cost, and the location we'll be competing at. Now here in strings.xml we've got all of our text here linked for the different controls on there, but then we also have this array here for the spinner, and it has the 3 locations. Alright, we got our style here, and I just went with this light, like no action bar theme. Now we have our code. So pretty much the same basic process as the ferry application there. I mean, you have the cost per athlete, which is $725. Down here we reference the edit text, spinner text view, and button control. That way we can mess with those in a little bit. Right here, we set an on-click listener there on the compute button, and whenever the user clicks the button, we get the number of athletes that they entered. We create a decimal format called currency so that we can format the total cost in currency format. Now we get the location from the location spinner. We calculate the cost, which is number of athletes times the cost per athlete, and then we display that result there. So by setting the text on the result text control to the location that the user selected, plus race team fee is, plus, and then the cost in currency format. Okay, so I think that about wraps up that. So I'll go ahead and run the emulator. Alright, so here we go. We got our Trilithon registration app running, and it looks pretty much the same there. Okay, so let's go ahead and test this thing out. I like using 10 there, that way we can clearly see it's working, but we'll test some other values in a second. I don't know what's up with this emulator. It's got some kind of glitch for that soft keyboard. Alright, but here we go. So so we'll say 10 athletes go into Lake Placid there. Compute the cost. The Lake Placid race team fee is $7,250, and that is correct. Alright, now we'll do something like 7, and we'll set it to Big Island, Hawaii. Okay, compute cost. Big Island, Hawaii race team fee is $5,075. Alright, let's go ahead and, just for the sake of accuracy there, I'll go ahead and punch that on the calculator just to be sure. Should be correct. Yep. There we go, so we won't even have to test the next one since that clearly didn't. So let's see, at least we won't have to calculate that on a calculator or anything. Let's see. And we'll go to Miami. 3,625. Why not? We'll punch it anyways. Let's see, 5 times 725, 365. There we go. Alright, and that wraps up the Chapter 3 projects.